Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still
3.1415926535846264384. A well-known article written over 40 years ago entitled The Magic Number 7 Plus or Minus 2 by George A. Miller contends that 7 plus or minus 2 of a limited number of things, such as numbers, letters, words, can be held in working memory. That limitation on working memory is the source of many problems. If instructional material is presented in a way that prevents working memory from processing it successfully, then learning will be hindered. Research indicates that limited working memory may be the single most critical factor that needs to be considered when designing educational instructions. There are three basic components to working memory: storage, encoding, and retrieval. I will briefly show you examples of some successful strategies used in each of these working memory components as demonstrated by some of my students during our Circle Week, which culminated on Pi Day. Okay, back to the magic number 7 plus or minus 2. Miller observed that the brain seemed to be able to process information easier if it was divided up into smaller groups called chunks. Short-term memory has the capacity of 7 plus or minus 2 chunks. Take the chunks, add the chunks to other chunks to form high information content that leads to conceptual understanding. While Miller's research is dated and there are some validity issues, the experiment has good reliability, and there have been numerous studies conducted since then to support his theory. You guys memorized quite a few digits of pi. How did you memorize it? What were some of your strategies? Let's start with Gio.
Well, mine was I counted 3 or 4 numbers and I chunked it up into bits.
Ah, okay.
3.141592653973238462643.
Okay, so Kat, how many digits did you memorize of pi?
111.
Wow. And what were your strategy? What was your strategy?
I just usually memorize them by every 3 digits, and sometimes they were like numbers, and sometimes the numbers were flipped, like 89, 98. Those 2 numbers are just flipped.
And sometimes you said you memorized 4 numbers in a row. They're as like what?
The dates, like 39 or something like that, like 37, 51. The social studies helps me with
Sometimes you chunked it into 4, sometimes 2, sometimes even 3. Okay. Do you think you, let's see. So you made it to the wall up there. Elaborative rehearsal involves associating information with previous knowledge and includes using retrieval cues such as imagery, mnemonics, music, and movement. When the material, or in this case the retrieval cues, is self-generated, students have better recall. This self-constructed knowledge is called the generation effect and leads to better conceptual understanding. Explain what you did.
Well, I kind of combined 2 of them. I have this green squishy ball at my house, and I like to throw it up at my ceiling occasionally to every number that I get. along with that, I like to make like this song about it. And every beat, I just threw the ball up to the ceiling, and it would like represent one course in fourth grade. And so we had this warm up, and that is also how the beat kind of starts.
Oh, okay, cool.
3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8, 9, 7, 9, 3, 2, 3, 8, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4, 3, 3, 8, 3, 27, 95, 0, 2, 8, 8, 1.
3.141592653589793. First memorize them, and then we'll talk about how you recited.
Well, I got a bag of mini donuts, and every time I memorized 10 more, I ate one.
Wow. Okay, so you gave yourself rewards. Cool. But what did you do? Did you like...
I chunked it up into 10.
So you memorized 10 digits at a time?
Well, sometimes then I made a little thing for every time there's like a little saying or something.
Oh, you added mnemonics?
We learned about circumference and how circumference equals pi times the diameter, or cherry pie is delicious. And we also learned about area, which equals pi times the radius squared, or apple pies are 2.
Active participation in class is effective because it usually requires elaborative rehearsal. But students must be motivated to learn through their interests, their strengths, and through relevancy to their lives. The self-reference effect is the tendency for individuals to have better memory for information that has been encoded in a self-relevant way, other than information that has less personal relevance. When people are asked to remember information when it is related in some way to the self, the recall rate is very much
faster. You better lose yourself in a dip. It's a pie, it's a high, but you got 1,000 more to go. The numbers do not stop or drop in the pattern, no, and memorizing takes most of a lifetime. If I'm not mistaken, my memory is waking. This number is mine for the taking. Hear it ring as it lists all digits in order, and whole numbers are born. Approximations just keep me snoring.
Pi only grows longer to get more precise. A rounded off fraction just won't cut the ice. So 22/7, you take my advice. If I catch you around here, you will
pay the price.
Better
up to say
1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8, 9, 7, 9, 3, 2, 3, 8, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4, 3, 3, 8, 3, 2, 7, 9, 5, 0, 2, 8, 8, 4, 1, 9, 7, 1, 6, 9, 3, 9,
I hope you enjoyed our examples of storage, encoding, and retrieval through memorizing pi, and find a way to use some of these strategies in your instruction.
You can do anything you set your mind to, man. Even memorizing pi. We're out.
Yummy.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the